Welcome. This lesson is basically just more practice adding and subtracting matrices, multiplying a matrix by a scalar, or multiplying two matrices together. But the one thing is they're going to give it to you in an abbreviated variable form, meaning they're going to label matrix 1 with a capital letter or variable. So this first matrix they're going to say is B. B equals this first matrix. The second matrix is C, capital C. C equals this second matrix. Then they give a scalar, a value of D, D being this scalar 9. And then they ask you to do this expression, to multiply your scalar by your matrix B and then add it to C. So I recommend you're going to need paper and just take the time to write it down like this, where I've written my D down as 9, my first matrix, added to my second matrix. Now, actually, before you write it down, you should ask yourself, is it even possible to add the two? Now, remember, to add matrix, the dimensions have to be the same, and they're both 2 by 3, 2 rows, 3 columns, so we can't add them. Once you write it down like this, then proceed to distribute in the 9, and then add the corresponding elements to get your final outcome. And your final outcome will obviously be a 2 by 3 matrix. Now, I just took the time, paused, and took the time to do this on paper. But again, just remember to do this. 9 times negative 7 is negative 63. Negative 63 plus 2 is negative 61. And I did that for every element all the way through. So 9, doing the last element, 9 times 1 is 9, plus 7 is 16. But again, that's in a review lesson. If you need to go back and review that lesson, by all means, do so. Okay? Now again, first thing I'm going to ask myself is, can I add B to C? Well, they're both 2 by 3, so I can. I'm going to obviously multiply B by negative 2 first, and multiply C by 6 first, and then add. I'm going to jump up to one that's still multiplication, like this one. So again, the first thing I'm going to ask myself before I write this down is, does the number of columns match the number of rows in the first one versus the second one? Do the number of columns in the first one match the number of rows in the second one? Or if you write down the dimensions, right? The first one's a 2 by 2, the second one's a 2 by 2. Do the two middle numbers match? They do. And remember, your outcome will be a 2 by a 2, the outside numbers. And so what I've done is I've written them down here. Now I proceed to multiply that first row by the first column. By the way, I'm going to come over here and actually click that my outcome is going to be a 2 by 2. And now I proceed to work my way through it. Now I just paused and worked my way through it, but let's just do one as an example. Let's do that first one. 1 times negative 3 will be negative 3. And then I added it to 4 times negative 1, which is positive 4, and negative 3 plus 4 is 1. And that was the first row, first column. That's where I got that 1. Again, if you need a review, go back to the previous lesson on multiplying matrices and review. If you have any questions on any of this, please let me know and just work your way through it, and the practice will do you good.